The second Target Series race is here out west, here at California, the Auto Club Speedway, for the running of the Auto Club 250. Now on the pole is the 30 of Joe Jefferson. 2 is outside is the A7 Roland Cook. Then 30 of Justin Heath. 4th is Alexander Rowan. Running out the top 5, we got Juan Garcia. 2's outside 6, we got James Deckerlagun. 7th is Jason Larker. 8th, Steve Morgan. 9th, TJ Hanley. And running out the top 10, you got Isaac Nichols. Then the rest of the field, you got John Gammett, and 2's outside Tim Randolph. You also got Max Anderson and Patrick Smith, along with Michael Sanders and Jonathan Raines. Then you got Code Luigi and Jake Galloway, Joe Sandrovich and Wyatt Walker. Then you got Jeff Bright and Jose Fernandez. Then Eli Bright and Jim Gambit, Michael Ferris and Roland Emmerich, Alex Stewart and Jay Jefferson. Then you got Luke Rainey and Marcus Sachi, Jonathan Buford and Justin Zidell. Then Levi Jones and Jake West, Christian Parker and Gatlin Downey. Then Steve Larker and Jennifer Buford, who won at Daytona, so she is coming off a race win. They got Colton Young and McDowell. And then the last row, you got John West and Marcos Yepes rounding out the field. There's your 42-car lineup. Joe Jefferson going to lead them to the green flag. Let's go down trackside and get the command.
I'm Staff Sergeant Proto with the soldiers of the 1st Cavalry Division. Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, everybody, just like what we talked about in the transporter. Nice and easy. It's a long race. Settle in. It'll be nice and smooth. Go out there and kick some butt tonight. This is your house. Prove it to them.
And the 42 cars roll off here at Auto Club. For sure to be one wild race. We see some 3 and 4 wide racing here, but close quarters racing, and it could lead to disaster. Some big crashes have happened here in the past. It's usually happened within the first 3 laps too. So watch out for that here early on as the pace car rolls off at turn number 4. Lead the start of this race in the hands of Joe Jefferson. Pace car will make the left-hand turn to pit road. Jefferson, 2's outside, Roland Cook. They come down the front stretch. And Joe Jefferson steps on the gas. We are racing in California. All right, some blocking going down on as they race down the backstretch. 3 and 4 wide, as we mentioned, in the pack. Racing into turn number 3. 3 wide now for second. 19, Juan Garcia to the bottom. Has his teammate behind him, TJ Hanley. Off of 4. Garcia with the run to the inside. Jefferson moves up. To the stripe they will come. Lap 1 going to be led by Juan Garcia with a push from teammate TJ Hanley. But here comes the 44 to the bottom lane. He's going to challenge now. Race off to turn number 1. Well over 200 miles an hour there. 3 and 4 wide, farther back in the pack. Watch for that. They race down the back stretch. You have to stay ahead of that crash if it's going to happen. They're 3 wide. That's Jake Galloway in the 11 to the bottom lane. Has Jeff right behind him. Galloway with the run. Jeff Bright's going to look to the inside, though. Car splitting to the middle, trying to get enough of a run. And TJ Hanley leads at the stripe, but Jeff Bright is coming. He's going to be to the inside of the 44 and on turn number 1. Bright side by side with Hanley as they race off into the corner. Big run there. Bright going to clear Hanley. Behind him, the 39 of Alex Stewart. They're 3 and 4 wide still. Stacked up. They're 3 wide. Luke Rainey to the bottom. Some great racing. Here comes Jake West in the 14. So all 3 TriStar cars up here at the front. 2 have led. Let's make it a third. Jake West going to lead the stripe. So now all 3 TriStar cars have led laps in this race. To the bottom goes Marcus Sachi in the 66. And somehow they've kept it clean in that pack. I don't know how. As Sachi leads, here comes Gatlin down to the inside. We're going to go back and take a look at your pole sitter, Joe Jefferson. He's back here all the way at the back of the pack. And we're not even 4 laps into this race. So that just shows how much the shuffle here is at Auto Club as Gatlin Downey clears. Here comes Daytona winner Jennifer. Oh, big crash! Hanley the one around. And it looks like the 81 of Wyatt Walker as well as the big one happens. Colton Yo, is that? No, it's the 4, excuse me. Jason Larker, Alex Stewart, Wyatt Walker, Patrick Smith, Roland Cook, and Eli Bright down to the inside wall. Jay Jefferson, John Gambit, and some others. Joe Jefferson might possibly be involved. If not, he spun Juan Garcia trying to get up to speed. As the yellow comes out for a nasty crash. TJ Hanley has damage from the 44 to the rear end. Just on the front edge of that crash. It looked like he got clipped into the outside wall. Gatlin Downey led them back to the stripe. As we had completed 4 laps, we talked about how wild it would be, and it was definitely wild there. So we'll see if they come down pit road. I don't think they will, although you never know. Maybe they want some fresh tires. Yeah, I believe it looks like they're going to be staying out. So Gatlin Downey with the race lead. And we'll have to check out how this happened. Wyatt Walker, one of the first to go around the 81, and chaos behind him. Let's see how caution number 1 was caused. Just some close quarters racing right here, and it's going to start right here. Michael Sanders in the 60, really pinching down the 40 of Christian Parker, down to the 1 of Jake Jefferson. Not enough room for that, and Jefferson's going to get clipped up into Wyatt Walker. TJ Hanley just barely going to get clipped right there, and it's on. Luke Rainey gets damage. The 4 of Jason Larker. Jeff Bright able to get down low. The 30 does get spun around in that. The 04. 33, 87 in the 88, take a spin down to the inside. The 09 barely in at the end, into the 04 hard. So a big crash here at Auto Club. Gonna take out a few cars in that. Yeah, Sanders kept coming down into the 40 like he wasn't there, but you have to stay up as high as you can. You can't be doing that. And the 88 and the 87 took a wild ride to the inside. You can see right there into victory lane. Sadly, that's probably not where they're going to be here later today, as both those cars have some pretty significant damage to the rear end and front end. Jeff Bright in the 5, able to just miss this one. Let's see how he did it. He has an onboard camera who's back here, and somehow he sneaks his way through. Yep, just a slight tap right there, but got away. Joe Jefferson in the 30, how much damage did he get from this? He spins around. Looked like instead of trying to overcorrect, he just spun it down to the inside and ended up just going through the grass, and that was probably the smartest move to do right there. So yellow comes out. Gatlin Downey in the 52 led the field back to the stripe. They, of course, stayed out, as we mentioned, and it's going to be a restart with around 10 to go. Gatlin Downey out front, Daytona winner just behind him, Jennifer Buford. Coming to the restart with 11 laps to go here at Auto Club. Gatlin Downey, the 1 out front. The 09 of Patrick Smith has retired, along with the 1 of Jay Jefferson and the 88 of Eli Bright. There are 39 cars left in the race and on the lead lap. Out front, you have the 52 of Gatlin Downey. In second, it's Jennifer Buford. Third, Marcos Yepes. Fourth, Isaac Nichols. Fifth, Marcus Sachi. Set to restart in the 9th position, the 05 is blowing up of Tim Randolph. So tough break for him. He will not be able to finish this race as they come into the restart zone. Gatlin Downey out front. We're back racing here at Auto Club. Green flag back out. And everyone's shuffling out to the bottom lane, trying to get in line. See the 41, Marcos Yepes, had a pretty good start there. Jumps to the outside. Isaac Nichols going to fill the hole to the bottom. Code Luigi going 3 wide in the 32. He's a California native, just like Levi Schultz. He played in the middle. Wants to win at his hometown track. They race down the backstretch. No one's been able to touch the front two as of yet. Jennifer Buford has stayed clear for now, but Isaac Nichols has a run. Comes the 16 of Adam McDowell to the bottom. 31 pushing him forward. Being the race leader on a restart really pays off as they start battling behind. We'll have to see, can the 52 of Downey keep that race leader? Will they be able to catch him? See, there's 3 and 4 wide in the pack already. 14 of Jake West to the bottom lane. Has the 6 of Justin Zidell behind him. So Zidell make his way up to the front. Looks like there might have been some contact back there. Able to keep it under control. 82 of Alexander Rowe there, pushing Zidell. 99 of Steve Morgan behind. Looks like the 20 right there of Joe Sandrovich. As Zidell looks to the bottom for the race lead, side by side with Gatlin Downey into the stripe with 9 to go. It is Zidell with the race lead. There comes Alexander Rowe to the bottom. Back there, Hanley moving out of the way, letting those faster cars get by. It's obviously Hanley a little bit off pace there, but if he can hang on to the draft, you never know what could happen. It might not be as dangerous as you think. So Alexander Rowe with the race lead. Steve Morgan behind him in the 2nd position. They got the 22 of Jose Fernandez up to 3rd. Behind him, the 2 of Colton Yo. Jeff Bright's up here, last season's champion. Looking to pick up a win to try and get himself into that chase. There comes the 01 to the bottom. As side by side for the race lead, Steve Morgan now to the inside. As they race down the backstretch. I can see Hanley, and I think that's the 18 of Michael Ferris. They're off pace. They were both involved in that crash. Both got spun around in that, so they'll probably just hang out the back, maybe wait in case a crash happens. So Morgan trying to keep it, but here comes the 01 of DeCurligan to the bottom. Jeff Bright getting pushed 3 wide. Marcos Yepes, the one behind him. Yeah, look at this. 3 wide for the race. Jeff Bright had a huge run down the front stretch. He had to take that. Yepes pushed him all the way down this front straightaway, trying to get him to make that move so that Yepes can make it down the backstretch. Bright moves up. Here comes Yepes to the bottom lane. And McDowell got crossed over right there by Roland Emmerich in the 51. Marcus Sachi coming up to the front, trying to get a win just like his teammate did at Daytona. Now they come to the stripe. 3 wide for second. Sachi to the bottom lane. Behind the 28, we have not talked about Jonathan Buford all day. Here he is inside the top 5 late. Jonathan Reigns in the 9 just behind. As looking for the race lead, Marcus Sachi is side by side. He's going to clear down the backstretch. Here comes Jonathan Buford to make it 3 wide now. 3 wide down the backstretch. It's getting intense. Jose Fernandez is the last car in this pack. Right there. Coming to 5 laps to go. Once they cross the stripe, if the yellow comes out, the race is over. 5 laps left here at All Club. Jonathan Reigns to the bottom lane. There are, in this pack, 22 cars that have a shot to win. Now here comes Justin Heath down the backstretch, getting a little tighter in the pack. Racing hard. Isaac Nichols to the bottom. 3 wide. You have to make your move. You never know when a crash is going to happen, especially with how they're racing. California native on the bottom. Gets forced to the middle by Jose Androvich as Nichols is now side by side to the stripe. 4 to go. Sandrovich gonna get forced up by Zidell. Now the 6. 4 wide for second. Jose Fernandez in the 22 is coming back. Gatlin Downey led on the restart. He's coming up to the front as well. Levi Schoen's close there with Colton Yo. Yo moves up. As Zidell now going to try and get back to that race lead. Off of 4 now side by side. Coming to see 3 laps to go. 22 cars, as we mentioned, have a shot to win. 2 laps left at All Club. 3, excuse me. Gatlin Downey making his move. DeCurligan behind him. Downey to the inside, down the back. Might be able to clear him going into turn number 3. Big run for the 52. Down the back into turn number 3. Coming to 2 laps to go. Gatlin Downey to the race. Jose Fernandez to the bottom. Fernandez trying to charge back. He has the 82 behind him. Alexander Rowe to the bottom. Now to the stripe. 2 laps left at All Club. 4 miles. Things are heating up. 2 laps left. Rowe to the bottom. Side by side with Downey as they come off turn number 2. Alexander Rowe clears Downey off of the corner. He's your new race leader at All Club. But here comes the 66 coming 3 wide. Downey gets back clear. He might have a shot. Coming to the white flag. Downey, Alexander Rowe are the front 2. At that 52 gets side by side with the 82 and might lead third on back into this battle. Sachi to the inside with Downey. 1 lap left at All Club. Now where does Marcus Sachi go? That might determine who wins this race. Sachi goes to the outside, but the inside lane rolls for Gatlin Downey as they race down the backstretch. Gatlin Downey's going to clear Alexander Rowe, but does Rowe have a crossover for him? Alexander Rowe back to the bottom lane. A crossover out of the 82. Side by side through 3 and 4. Does Jonathan Buford ever run for him? Off of 4 they will come. Rowe moves up. No contest for him. They race off of 4. Alexander Rowe will win here at All Club. What a race that was, and Alexander Rowe, an amazing crossover on the backstretch to get by Gatlin Downey. He could probably thank Marcus Sachi for that. If Sachi went to the bottom with him, if Sachi went to the bottom with the 52 Gatlin Downey, Rowe would not have had a chance to make that crossover move, and Sachi or Downey probably would have won. So Alexander Rowe can thank Marcus Sachi for that. The 82 car wins here at All Club. Let's now go check the finishing results. Here are the phase results from the All Club 250. At All Club, there was one caution flag for 4 laps, and there were 12 lead changes among 10 different drivers. Alexander Rowe ends up winning the race by leading 3 laps. Gatlin Downey led the most, 7 laps, ends up in the 2nd position. Jonathan Buford ends up 3rd, Marcus Tachi in 4th, and Jim Gambit rounding out the top 5. They got Marcos Yerpes in 6th, Jeff Bright 7th, Justin Heath 8th, Cole Luigi is solid 9th, and Roland Emmerich rounding out the top 10. So there's your top 20. See, Jeffrey Buford, who won last race, ends up in the 17th position. Joe Sandrovich finished 2nd. He ends up 13th here today. His 22 cars at the end had a shot. Alexander Rowe beats them all to the finish line. See right there, last car in the pack was Jake West. As Juan Garcia, Michael Ferris, TJ Hanley all had some damage from that crash. They ended up off pace. John Gambit, same there. Steve Larker, Joe Jefferson just could not get caught back up. Jefferson ended up starting up pole, ends up 28th, didn't even lead a lap. As the 05 had a camshaft issue, and 4 cars DNF. Randolph, Bright, Jefferson, Smith, Max Anderson, last car to finish the race running. Let's now go look at the point standings. So here are the points after All Club. Gatlin Downey, Jim Gambit, the only 2 to finish top 5 in both races. They're right now 1-2 in points. Jeffrey Buford, their win is now to 3rd. Joe Sandrovich is 4th, and Alexander Rowe with the win moves up to 5th. They got Jonathan Buford in 6th, Jeff Bright 7th, Jose Fernandez 8th, Justin Heath 9th, and Levi Schoens rounding out the top 10. So there's your top 20. Some wild first 2 races start off the season. It's going to get even wilder from here on out. As you look down 21st to 40th, drivers down here trying to just get out of the rut they're in right now. It's very, very hard. Once you have a few bad races start the season, you're thinking, I have to turn this around before it gets even worse. So these drivers are going to try everything they can to get this thing turned around. And they could do it at Las Vegas, as that's the next race. The Exalta 300 should be one wild one. See you guys then.